I'm calling this a bedtime story from the Backpack Show. But if you're listening to unwind after work, your secret's safe with me. Tonight, I want to tell you about Sister Anne Flanagan. She's one of the daughters of St. Paul, a nun, and she creates things. Things like connection, harmony, and calm in the middle of chaos. Imagine the scene. Morning light through an old Boston window. Somewhere upstairs, roofers are hammering. Down the hall, the fire alarm has just started. And the internet has gone down again. Sister Anne smiles. No, everything's not exactly fine, but she's learned that frustration never fixes the problem. She checks the cables, sends a few texts, takes a breath, then goes right back to work. Her work isn't quiet, even though her life might look that way from the outside. She's part of a community of women who write, sing, design, and publish from a modest building that hums like a small production studio. Their tools change. They used printing presses once upon a time. Now it's cameras and microphones, but the purpose stays the same. They make things to reach people. That sense of purpose took hold long before Sister Anne was born. Over a century ago, in northern Italy, a young priest gathered a few idealistic souls and said, "This century will be about new ways to communicate. Let's learn to use them for good." So they printed books, made films, and kept adapting. By the time Sister Anne came along in the 1970s, the idea had spread across the world. She discovered it by accident. Her mother stopped by a bookstore run by the Daughters of St. Paul to buy a gift. Sister Anne walked in behind her and saw walls lined with stories, ideas, and songbooks, and something clicked. Sister Anne described that moment as finding a packaged life, a way to connect everything she loved doing with what mattered most to her. She could write, sing, and create, and still live a life of meaning. That clarity never left her. Years later, she helped set up a recording studio in the basement of a Boston house. She studied communications and music and spent her days surrounded by microphones and cables, not just pews and prayer books. If you've ever worked in production, you can picture it. Someone fastidiously checking levels, rewinding takes, and humming along. Over time, she helped form a choir that recorded albums and toured the country during the holidays. Music became their way of meeting people where they were. And for many who listened, those songs arrived at exactly the right time. But when the pandemic hit, everything stopped. No travel, no live events. The sisters were scattered across cities: Boston, Chicago, Los Angeles, New Orleans. But Sister Anne didn't close the door on her work. No. Instead, she opened her laptop. She and the other sisters learned to sing through screens. They recorded harmonies alone and pieced them together later. Their first virtual Christmas concert was recorded in isolation. Each voice recorded separately, then brought together into something whole. That's what she does best: turn isolation into harmony. Turn circumstance into connection. Sister Anne and the other nuns take turns cooking, so there are times when she cooks for 80 people, with whatever the day's donations happen to be. Sometimes she'll open the fridge and think, this is going to be a challenge, but she always finds a way to make it work. She calls it Chopped, Convent Edition. That same flexibility shows up in how she leads her creative work. When things fall apart, Sister Anne pauses. That's her secret. She says that every creative person needs a pause button. The world will always ask for more, faster. But progress, she says, depends on space. The moment when you stop just long enough to really see what's in front of you. Another idea she shared still stays with me. She calls it filtering the false non-negotiables. It means noticing the rules or routines that no longer serve their purpose. She likes to ask, do we really need this part? Or are we just keeping it because it's familiar? That kind of thinking could delete half the meetings on any corporate calendar. It's how you make room for what truly matters. If you ever see Sister Anne in conversation, she listens more than she talks. Her laugh comes easily. And when she meets people who've been touched by her work, people who say her voice kept them company through something hard, she never takes the credit, just shares their joy. That's the thing about meaningful work. You often don't realize its reach until someone tells you. Sister Anne isn't innovating for innovation's sake. She's just paying attention to what the moment calls for. Sometimes that's a new platform. Sometimes it's a song, and sometimes it's silence. A pause where she can just be and listen. I think that's what makes her story so powerful. She treats her work like an act of service. She's not giving a performance or looking for a promotion. Sister Anne just wants to be of service. She shows us all what it looks like to stay steady when the Wi-Fi cuts out just before your important Zoom, when the walk-on music plays too early, when the next big thing falls apart. So if you're winding down right now, thinking about the day you just had, the meetings, the interruptions, the deadlines, remember Sister Anne and give yourself some grace. Filter out the things that don't need to come with you tomorrow. And remember that achieving harmony takes time. You don't have to sing louder to be heard. You just have to keep your voice steady and keep on singing. Tomorrow, carry that sense of calm with you into the noise. Someone out there needs what you do, even if they never tell you so. Take care of yourself. Talk soon.